Hey, this is me building and strategizing my 500 grand per year profit consulting business right in front of your eyes. What you're watching right here is a daily video series that always follows the exact same framework. I always start by answering some questions, meaning that on this channel right here, the daily updates channel that you're watching right now, if you go down in the comment section, then you can ask me a question and then I'll answer your question in tomorrow's video. It's a great loop and I get to help a lot of people answer their questions. So that is the first thing that we do on this channel. Then I'll run you through business stats, which is me showing you the growth of my social channels, my main YouTube, Instagram, daily updates YouTube channel, and also how much money the business is doing out here on the right hand side. And then last but not least, I let you know on my thoughts, reflections, and me brainstorming on how the heck I'm taking this digital coffee shop, my consulting business, from 500 grand a year in profit to 2 million a year with 80% margins, and while still only taking calls 3 days a week. And also not doing sales calls, and without hiring a big team. There's a few more constraints and rules, but welcome people. We dive straight in to the questions here, so I hit the community tab and then we'll just start it from an end here. Ooh, that is a better angle, huh? I look way better there. We have a question from Wealthical. He says, hey Fred, you're the most real consultant I know, and I really appreciate what you do. These videos are very valuable. Thank you so much, man. I really appreciate that. How can a coach go viral within their niche while talking to their ICP, starting on a fresh account with 0 followers and 0 clients? Thank you. Great question. I think this is a question that I get often. Like, how do you start creating content? How do you start building a personal brand? And it's a great one. I think the goal here for you that you're asking, Wealthical, is how do I go viral? And I'm going to challenge you a bit here without knowing you, because ultimately I do not believe that your goal is to go viral. Ultimately, your goal is to make money from your personal brand. And just like you do and what most people do is that they correlate more people, more traffic, virality, being famous and having a bunch of traffic to making more money. And it's a very, very fair thought process and very, very natural, right? The more people that sees my stuff, the more people can buy. But as you said here, like, it's pretty relevant in this case that, like, hey, we want to talk to my niche. We want to start to like talk to good people, because ICP typically means people that can buy and benefit from your product, and therefore you can make money. So I think ultimately the goal here is not to go viral. Ultimately the goal here is to create incredible content that you like to create and that brings value and that highlights your expertise for your ideal customer profile, while getting as many views as possible, right? Getting as many people, as many relevant people as possible to watch the content that you're creating. So I think I've been struggling a lot with this over the years. So my first coaching business was paid ads only, meaning that in the time span of the 18 months that we ran it, we spent around 500 grand to $600,000 on paid acquisition. So we got all of our traffic from paid ads. So I always got the relationship with organic content, that organic content was only for middle of funnel and for bottom of funnel, meaning that it only existed to nurture, because the traffic channel inside of my business, if we draw it here, like, this is a very traditional funnel. In this sense, it's not a conversion funnel, it's a traffic funnel, right? So like up here, getting people in my first business, it was ads. Like, I didn't care about getting views from organic because I was running such a large ad spend that I just wanted people to go watch my BSL. I wanted people to check out my Instagram. I wanted people to watch some YouTube videos, and then I wanted to kind of like book a call with my team, and then end up paying us some money for the services that we provided, right? But then I switched to the digital coffee shop, and I kind of like saw all of these people that were getting traffic and growing their business when it came to traffic and followers and leads without spending money on paid ads. And I was like, this is interesting. I need to get better. I need to up my game when it comes to creating content and attracting people. So I started focusing a lot on organic content, and you can see that I've posted basically every day, also multiple times per day on trial reels. It's something that we're testing now, but I'll mainly go through organic. And the thing about all of my content with organic is that it's all created for my ideal customer profile, but I'm trying my best to use formats that can attract the right people and bring in a new type of audience. So meaning that I will never ever create trending viral concepts of like tier lists or rankings. And the great content for examples from here is that I always show Brian Mark and he's really, really good at content. He's incredible at growing Instagram accounts, etc. But he's playing a completely different game than I, right? Because he has such a large audience, and you can see, like, he's making these very broad reels with like ranking lists. He's making sketches, right? He's doing these like super trendy split screen kind of like carousels that are trending now, and he's a really good guy to follow for formats. And when I say content formats, then this right here is a format, sit down ranking. This right here is a format, sketch content. This right here is a format, split screen carousel, and you can see he repurposes the same format here, right? So these are formats that has a higher likelihood of going viral, meaning to attract more people in. So the most important thing is what stands and what the content says, right? But I'm not gonna go as top of funnel as this. It doesn't really fit my brand. It's not. I always use myself as a filter in a way where if I like to consume the content, it is content that I would like to create, because then I attract clients who likes to watch my content and I like to create it, and they typically liked it because they want to create it too. And then it's a very beautiful flywheel and like ecosystem of me attracting clients into my business. So what I've realized over the past year of like doubling down on organic content is that as long as I just speak my truth and say the things that is right to me, but then I do it in nice settings, so like here at a cafe, I could have said the same things in a studio and this video wouldn't have brought in, let me see here, 47 followers, right? Like I could have said the same things in a studio, nothing would really have happened. Because the interesting thing here and the format here is the effort, in a sense. It's the being outside. It's kind of like, that is the thing. It's the location, right? Here it's the split screen again, like Brian Mark did with the slide post. But here it's me using a top-down camera to illustrate a before and after of my old business, and then me explaining to camera. Which, by the way, this snippet that you're watching right here is taken straight out of my my new YouTube video. So like, it's right here. So you can see it's the same setup, right? So I try to repurpose my YouTube videos into Reels as well, because YouTube is more important to me. But yeah, like having these better setups and settings is something that I focused on, and using B-roll and all of these things. So I think, bro, the most important thing that you can do to get back to your question, I wanted to elaborate on your question on my own experiences kind of with like content and like figuring this thing out, because I would much rather grow better followers at a lower volume, and then ultimately it would make up with the kind of like the same end result, right? So for example, I run a marketing agency. It's not to plug it or anything, it's just to show you the agency that I'm running. This is my agency, all right? And we have profit shares in 2 different coaching businesses. And I just want to give you an example of content here in terms of traffic and conversion, because ultimately the goal with content and us growing partners' businesses and me working with my clients in the coffee shop is ultimately that people grows their business and revenue. And then for me, I have a lot of constraints for myself and clients of like, it has to be done in the right way. But I'll give you pure like unit economics here. So coach 1 up here, all right? We have a client that gets 100 followers a day, all right? And then we have client 2 that gets around 20 followers a day. And the thing here is that they're spending the exact same amount of money on paid ads. They're uploading the same cadence, the same content, not the same exact formats, but it's within fitness and it's in Denmark. So it's like, it's also how much differentiation can you do, right? So the thing here is that this coach up here, right, it takes him around 30 followers, 40 followers even, to get a call, right? Meaning that he books around 2 to 3 sales calls per day. But this client down here, it only takes this client around 8 to 10 followers per day. It only takes 8 to 10 followers for him to book a call, meaning that he also books 2 to 3 calls a day. So if we only looked at volume of the business and getting followers in, then everyone would copy and create this business right here, right? Whereas they would look at, oh my God, he's only getting 1/5 of the followers. His content must be wrong. There must be something wrong. But at the end of the day, they are getting the same call bookings in their calendar, and then the next step is kind of like show rate, right? And then it's close rate. But it's just, I always show this to my clients to show them that don't focus too much on traffic, don't focus too much on volume, focus on traffic and the quality of the traffic and the next steps of your funnel, because ultimately the most important number that you're looking for when doing anything acquisition related is your cost per acquisition. And I know that we're not spending money on ads in this scenario here and answering your question, but we're still spending time, right? We're still spending energy, and we're probably also spending some sort of money to get an editor to create content, or in my case, a creative director, or whatever it might be. So this is just a very good example of how volume isn't always the goal. And this was a bit of a longer answer, but I think it's such a core philosophy of mine to not always focus on traffic and virality and trendy formats, and really staying really, really true to your brand, because it's the best thing that I've done, that I've stayed very, very consistent to my brand. I know most of you have seen these like very viral reels that are very raw. People just like yap into their phone, which is cool. It's just, I don't really like consuming it myself, right? So if you scroll all the way down on my profile here, like I've posted like probably 300 reels. But any reel that you kind of like pick, there's always effort. I like putting effort into the stuff that I put out on the internet. So like no matter where you go and no matter where you end up in my era. So like for example here 2 years ago, like I've always put a lot of effort into the content, because that's really what I like to see. That's really, really the content that I like to create. It's kind of like the content that I like to consume. So yeah, I hope hopefully that made sense. It was a bit of a longer answer, but it's I hope it makes sense. I hope the Brian Mark formats compared with like how I do things, and like the what is the ultimate goal, what's the time horizon, the rest of the funnel matters, and kind of like the rest of the funnel determines how good your content and current strategy is, because like it's the rest of the funnel that determines if the content actually pays off and makes money and gets you clients and grows your business, right? Then this guy says, please blur, pixelate your clients. You can still do this in YouTube Studio. No clue, and hearts, thank you. Great stuff, great stuff. No more questions. If you have any questions, drop it down below. You already know. I should never say that again, by the way. Next thing on the to-do list is business stats. So this is the sheet that we fill out. So we copy and paste this thing here, and then we track it. So the Daily Updates YouTube channel is currently sitting on, let's see, 649 subscribers. My Instagram is sitting at 25,912. And the main YouTube channel is at 9,163. There we go. And yesterday, the business did 42,385 Danish to USD, which is 6,540. There we go. Oh, you can't see it. I'm so sorry. Now you can see it. Great stuff. And then the last thing that we are going to do in the daily updates here is strategy. And my strategy today is going to be, I really want to emphasize watching this video. It's not that I just want to send you off to a main channel video, but like this is a video that I've spent a lot of time on. It is very, very boring because it is financially engineering your business and understanding when to use paid in fulls and when to go for monthly recurring revenue. And it's such an incredible skill for you to learn. I've made an Instagram post with a bunch of context to it as well. I'm currently in Greece and I have to go get some dinner. So I don't really have all the time in the world today. I just wanted to get it done. And that's the beauty of showing up every single day. Sometimes you nail it and it's perfect, and then other times it's not. But I really want to encourage, because like as you can see here, these are the old and the new numbers of my old business, and then also like the digital coffee shop. And like this first old business was engineered only for cash on hand and really acquisition focused, where you can see the revenue was almost 3 million, but the profit was incredibly low. This was personal, by the way. So like I also had a business partner that made around the same amount of money. You can see we had 450 clients through. We had such a bad renewal rate because we didn't have any ascension, whereas now 60% of people stay. I have 90% profit, only one employee, I don't take sales calls. My business is so much better, and it's because I've understood this, the paid in full death spiral. I understand how to financially engineer offers so that your workload doesn't increase while your revenue goes down because you're stuck in delivery. And in this new video, I show you like the conflict that there is with breaking through ceilings all the time because we're not engineered for exactly that. And I show you my offers with this 60-40 rule of going for MRR versus PIF, paid in full. And yeah, so I really want to encourage watching that video and kind of like forwarding you there, and I'll have some dinner in the meantime. But thank you so much, people, for watching these videos. Again, drop some questions down below. It makes this channel a lot more fun, both for you and I. And there's no stupid questions, only stupid answers, and I'll make sure that they're not stupid, or at least try my best. But thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.